Hi. As you know, in the last video, we have started already example 1, I think, in application of trigonometry. And now we are going to discuss example 2 and example 3. Okay. And let me tell you one thing. You may understood the concept of introduction to trigonometry well, and let me repeat that once again. So in this chapter, only few concepts are there, like angle of elevation, angle of depression. Only 2 or 3 concepts are there, but the problem is the real problem is actually problems. That means in this chapter we are going to discuss a plenty of problems, just like introduction to trigonometry. And but when we compare this both chapter, in this chapter, we are going to face application level questions. So for application level questions, we have to spend what we need is we have to spend a little amount of energy on that question, because first step is we have to draw a exact figure according to the question. So in the last video I have mentioned that if you can draw an exact figure according to the question, you are half reached, problem completely solved. If you know how to draw a figure, then all the remaining things is connected to that figure only. So we have to know how we can draw a figure, how we can understand a question, and how we can draw a figure according to the problem. That is going to be a really important thing in your board exam. That will determine your result in this kind of problems. And please try to draw a figure according to the question. In order to draw the figure, what you have to do first, you have to read question twice and try to understand the exact meaning of the question, and just draw a figure and explore the problem. And so I'm not going to waste time by simply discussing unnecessary things. And I know that you are grown-up students. Yeah, you may understand the seriousness of this chapter. Please maintain the same amount of energy which you have used in introduction to trigonometry, and we need the same amount of energy, and we need the same amount of performance here in this chapter also. And let me start discussing example 2. Okay. And after each problem you can feel that we are going to see the difficulty level of problem is increasing. Example 1 was very simple question, but example 2 is going to be a little more tough. Then the next problem will be little more tough, but since it is a step by step process, every students can easily learn this problem, because this is going to be a step by step process. So when you learn each question, you have to give that much importance, because the next question will be little more difficult than the previous one. Okay, so let me go to the example 2 now. It is a time to read example 2, and its figure is given there. But since it is an example, they given the figure also, because in board exam there will not be any figure. So no need to look at this figure now. Just hide that figure and read question, and let us try to draw a figure according to the question. Okay. An electrician has to repair an electric fault on a post of height 5 meter. So that electrician, what he has to do, he has to repair, that is not he, that is she. Okay. So an electrician has to repair an electric fault on a post of height 5 meter. The electric post, it has a height 5 meter, and she has to repair something on that post. She needs to reach a point 1.3 meter below the top of the pole. That means she don't want to reach at the top, but where she wants to reach, she need to reach a point 1.3 meter below the top of the pole. That means she don't want to reach here at the top, she need little more down. How much little less. She don't want to reach here at the top, she wants to reach somewhere a point little more down from the top. How much meter down? 1.3 meter below from the top of the pole, to undertake the repair work. And you can understand that, because നമ്മുടെ കറണ്ടിൻ്റെ എല്ലാ സെറ്റിങ്സും പോസ്റ്റിന് അങ്ങ് മേലെയാണ് കൊണ്ടുവെക്കുക, അല്ല ഇടിച്ച് താഴെ ആയിരിക്കും. അപ്പം സ്വാഭാവികമായിട്ട് അവിടെയാണ് അവർക്ക് റിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. അല്ലാണ്ട് പോസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ മേലെ കയറുന്ന വയൽ മൊത്തം കണ്ടിട്ട് തിരിച്ചു വരാനാണോ അവളോട് പറഞ്ഞത്? അല്ല, മോള് പോയിട്ട് പോസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ റിപ്പയർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് തിരിച്ചു വരണം. അതായത് മുകളിലല്ല, അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഒരു 1.3 മീറ്റർ താഴെയാണ് അവൾക്ക് എത്തേണ്ടത്, അവിടെയാണ് അവൾക്ക് പണി ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. ഓക്കെ. ദെൻ what should be the length of the ladder that she should use, which when inclined at an angle 60 degree to the horizontal? Okay, what should be the length of the ladder? We have to find out here. The question is to calculate the length of the ladder that she should use, which when inclined at an angle 60 degree. That means anyway she has to place a ladder to do this work. So we have to find out the length of the ladder. And one more thing is given, that ladder and the angle of inclination is nothing but the angle between that ladder and the ground. That is nothing but 60 degree here. Okay. It is properly written there what should be the length of the ladder. We have to find out the length of the ladder she should use in which when that ladder is inclined at an angle 60 degree to the horizontal. Horizontal is nothing but, see, this is what is horizontal, that is nothing but ground. So angle between the ladder and the ground should be what, 60 degree, would enable her to reach the required position. Okay. Also, how far from the foot of the pole should she place the foot of the ladder? One more thing we have to find out, how far from the foot of the pole. This is what is the foot of the post. So where she has to place the ladder for this work. That means we have to find the distance from the foot of the pole towards the ladder. I will explain that question by drawing a figure, then you will get understood everything. Okay, so anyway, that electrician, she is going to repair some electrical fault on a post. Okay, so let me draw a post now. This is the post. Let it be some AB. What AB represents? AB represents the electric post, you may understood. And this is what is electric post. Okay, what is the total height of the electric post? It is given in the question, 5 meters. Any problem? This much is clear, no? Yes. And that electrician wants to do some work here. So she don't want to reach here. Where she wants to reach? She wants to reach a point such that that point is 1.3 meter from the top of the post. This is the top of the post. This is the top of the post now. And she don't want to reach here. She wants to reach a point little 1.3 meter down from the top. That means from here 1.3 meter less. That means somewhere here she has to climb. Okay, so in order to climb here, in order to reach here, what she has to do? She has to place a ladder in this way. Can she place a ladder in this way? Can she place a ladder in this way? Why? A ladder. So what she has to do? She has to place ladder in with a little angle of inclination. That should be inclined towards that post. And that angle of inclination it is given. How it is given? It said that the angle between that post and the horizontal should be 60 degrees, nothing but angle between that ladder. Angle between that ladder and horizontal is not. It is given it as 60 degree. So that means angle between the ladder and horizontal is nothing but ground. That angle is given 60 degree. Once again, I am repeating the question. Electric post is there. Let AB represents electric post. And let it be point P, because I already mentioned that. Let AB represents electric post. What is the total height of electric post? It is given that 5 meters is the total height of the electric post. And she don't want to reach here for the repair work. Where she wants to reach? She wants to reach a point such that that point is 1.3 meter down from the top of the post, and this is the top of the post. She wants to reach a point such that that point is 1.3 meter down from here. So let it be some here point. Let P is the point where she has to reach for repair work, and that P is such that 1.3 meter down from the top. You may understood. Okay, and so in order to reach here, she has to use a ladder, and this is the ladder she is using, and so there should be some inclination. That a ladder should be inclined towards the horizontal. She has to place the ladder in such a way that that ladder should be have some angle of inclination. ആ ladder കുറച്ച് ചെരിച്ചാണ് കുട്ടിക്ക് വെക്കേണ്ടത്. ഓക്കെ, അങ്ങനെ ചെരിച്ച് വെക്കുമ്പം സ്വാഭാവികമായിട്ടും ഈ ലാഡറും ഗ്രൗണ്ടും തമ്മിലൊരു ആംഗിൾ ഫോം ചെയ്യും. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗിവൺ ആസ് ഇൻ ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ 60 degree. You may understood. Okay. And so what all the things we have to calculate according to the question, and let some PQ represents ladder. Anyway, we have to name in this way, and here AB represents the length of the post that is given, and P represents the point where she has to reach for the repair work, and PQ represents the ladder. Okay, and AQ represents the distance distance between that ladder and foot of the post. What AQ represents? AQ represents the distance between that ladder and foot of the post. So in the question, two sub questions are there. We have to find out the ladder length of the ladder first. That means we have to find out what is PQ first. Then one more thing we have to calculate, what is AQ. That also there in the question. What is the distance between the ladder and the foot of the post. So we need PQ and AQ. Okay, so you have to, so you may understood the figure. So that means we have, if you can able to draw a figure, half done. Okay, so and you have to write in words what all the things we represents. Let AB represents post, isn't it? So you have to write that let AB represents height of post, isn't it? Let AB represents height of post, and let PQ represents what? Let PQ represents what? Length of ladder, that you have to write anywhere. Then let AQ represents what? Distance between foot of the post and ladder. Okay, let AQ represents distance between foot of the post and ladder. Okay, and what all the things we have to find according to the question? We need PQ. What is PQ and what is AQ? That is the question. So to find, you can write it as to find. Okay, we need PQ and we need AQ also. What all the things we need? We need PQ and we need AQ also. Okay, so in order to find out, we have to find a right triangle here. Can you identify a right triangle in this figure? See, this is 90 degree. Of course this is 90 degree. Why? Because electric post should be straight towards the ground. Otherwise electric post is standing in such a way that should be perpendicular. Okay, so let it be. So of course this will be 90 degrees, since the electric post is perpendicular, because you know that in usual case electric post would be perpendicular. അവർ വെച്ചിട്ട് പോകുന്നത് അങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും, കുറച്ച് കഴിയുമ്പോഴായിരിക്കും മഴയത്തും കാറ്റത്തൊക്കെ വല്ല വണ്ടിയൊക്കെ വന്ന് ഇടിച്ചിട്ട് ചെരിഞ്ഞു പോകുന്നത്. So we have to consider the electric post in such a way that standing perpendicular with the ground. Then only we can solve this question, because we have to, in order to apply trigonometric identities, we have to make the presence of right triangle. So this is a right triangle. That means AQP is a right triangle. Okay, in this right triangle anything is given. You may think that nothing is given, but can you identify AP? Can you identify AP? What is AP? AP, how we will get AP? In order to get AP, the total length, that means AP is nothing but AB minus BP. Once again repeating, in this right triangle at least we need one length. So it is not directly given, but we can easily calculate AP. How we can calculate AP? Because AP is nothing but AB minus PB. Repeating, AP is nothing but AB minus PB, you know? Yes. Why? Because when you subtract PB from AB, we will get what? AP. Okay. So you can write that in right triangle, PAQ. When you write the name of a right triangle, the middle vertex should be 90 degrees. See, so PAQ, otherwise QAP. Two ways are there for writing, but the middle vertex should be 90 degree. Okay, that is the method of writing. So in right triangle PAQ, what is PA? Can you identify what is PA? PA is nothing but what? AB minus PB. From the figure it is very clear that it is very clear that PA is equal to AB minus PB. See, once again repeating, PA is nothing but AB minus PB. And what is AB? It is directly given, 5. AB represents the total height of the pole, no, that is 5. And what is PB? That also given in the question, 1.3. Then what is 5 minus 1.3? How we can calculate 5 minus 1.3? 5, can you write 5.0 minus 1.3? 0 minus 3. That means you can take 1 from here. That means 10 minus 3 is 7. And here it is now 4 only. 4 minus 1 is 3. Answer is what? 3.7 meter. Now we got what? PA. PA is nothing but 3.7. So just write that here. Now PA is nothing but what? 3.7. Okay. Now you just consider this right triangle. Now we can easily find out the remaining two sides. If one side is there in a right triangle, then we can easily use trigonometric ratio and we can easily calculate the remaining sides. Okay. So we need PQ and we need AQ. Okay. Think about this angle because this is the only angle given in this question. Once again repeating, think about or focus on that angle 60 degree. According to 60 degree, now we have opposite side because we calculated this side. So according to 60 degree, this is opposite side. So in other ways, what we can say, according to 60 degree, we have opposite side. And we need, according to 60 degree, we need hypotenuse. Isn't it? Because in this right triangle, this is hypotenuse and that hypotenuse represents length of the ladder. So we need hypotenuse, and according to 60 degree, this is adjacent side. We need that also. Why? Because we need PQ and we need AQ. According to the question, we have to calculate PQ and AQ both. But according to 60 degree, this is opposite side. According to 60 degree, this is hypotenuse, and according to 60 degree, this is adjacent side. So according to 60 degree, this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. No, how we can relate? By using which ratio you can relate opposite and hypotenuse? Sine. That means you can apply sine on this 60 degree. Are you following me? Yes. So that means just take sine. You may understood what is the reason for taking sine, because according to 60 degree, this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. Anyway, we need hypotenuse. So isn't it? Because hypotenuse represents the length of the ladder. So according to 60 degree, opposite side is there, hypotenuse we have to calculate, which is the ratio connecting between opposite and hypotenuse, sine. So in that way we can apply ratio sine on that 60 degree. Okay, now sine 60, we know that sine some angle is nothing but opposite by hypotenuse. According to 60 degree, opposite is 3.7 and hypotenuse is PQ. So you can write it as 3.7 divided by PQ. You may understood. And now it is the time to substitute the value of sine 60. Okay, what is the value of sine 60? Can you say that? So what is the value of sine 60? We know that the value of sine 60 is nothing but root 3 by 2. So sine 60 is equal to 3.7 by PQ represents root 3 by 2 is equal to what? 3.7 by PQ. Now just cross multiply, then you will get the value of PQ. So when you are writing, you have to ensure that when you are using a ratio in this way, when you are writing this much, you have to ensure that how many unknowns are there. Here only one unknown is there because we know sine 60 and 3.7 is there. Only one unknown is there. If there is two unknown, we cannot calculate. Since there is only one unknown, we can easily calculate. Suppose if two unknowns came, we cannot use that ratio. When you use a ratio, you have to make sure that there is two unknown. See, can you use some, for example, can you use, when you use some ratio, there should be only one unknown. If two unknown came, we cannot solve. For example, if I am going to use here some can I use cos 60 directly? Can I use cos 60? For the better clarification, let me explain that. Can I use cos 60 here? Yes, you can use, but what is cos 60? Cos 60 is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse. So it become, which is adjacent of 60. Cos of some angle is nothing but adjacent of that angle divided by hypotenuse. No. So cos 60 will be what? AQ by PQ. Are you following me? AQ by PQ. We know what is the value of cos 60 from the table we can identify. But you know what is AQ? See, AQ we don't know. You know what is PQ? PQ also we don't know. Then can you use cos 60 here? No. Okay. But sin 60, why I am using sin 60? Because we know opposite side. Only one unknown came, so no problem. But here when you use cos 60, two are unknowns. We cannot do anything. You may understood. So in this way you have to learn some. Then only we will get thorough with the concept. Okay. അല്ലാണ്ട് ഷിബിൻ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് സയൻസ് 60 എടുത്തു, ഷിബിൻ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് കോസ് 60 എടുക്കുന്നില്ല, അങ്ങനെയല്ല. നിങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്വന്തമായ ഒരു നിലപാട് വേണം. സോ യു ഹാവ് റീച്ച്ഡ് ദിസ് മച്ച്, നോ? So root 3 by 2 is equal to 3.7 by PQ. Just cross multiply. So we know, because we know, A by B is equal to C by D implies that A into D is equal to B into C. By using that property, we can cross multiply here. That means root 3 into PQ is nothing but 2 into 3.7. 2 into 3.7. You may understood. Okay. That means what will be PQ? PQ will be 2 into 3.7 by root 3. Root 3 PQ is equal to 2 into 3.7 is nothing but PQ. Then what we need PQ, no? Then what is PQ? PQ is nothing but 2 into 3.7 by root 3. So what is 2 into 3.7? 7.4, no? Yes. Divide by root 3. And see, we got PQ. You can stop here, no problem. But still, you just see the denominator. Denominator become an irrational number, no? So when denominator is irrational, this rational number is not in a standard form. We have to make every rational number in a standard form. Okay, because this rational number is little disturbed. Why? Because denominator is a irrational number. So what I am going to do is I am going to make it as rational. You know how to make it as rational? Here the denominator is root 3. No, just multiply both with root 3. Numerator and denominator with root 3. Then the problem will be solved. That is the method. PQ is equal. We can do like this. We can multiply a numerator and denominator with the same number. No problem. Here the denominator is root 3. Just multiply with the same denominator in the numerator and denominator. So what is 7.4 into root 3? 7.4 root 3. And what is root 3 into root 3? 3. Now the problem is solved. Now the denominator become a rational now, isn't it? Now what is PQ? Okay. 7.4 root 3 by 3. 7.4 root 3 by 3. You can stop here. No need to divide 7.4 by 3 and all. You can stop here. No need to spoil time. And this is what is PQ. And see, sorry. You know, in the question, they given the value of root 3 as 1.73. They given the value of the root 3 as 1.73. So you are supposed to substitute that value here. That means 7.4 into, since the value of root 3 is given as 1.73, you have substituted that here 1.73 by 3. 7.4 into 1.73 by 3, because it is given in the question, no? Okay, then it is the time to multiply. 7.4 into 1.73. How we can multiply? You just multiply 173 with the 74. So the answer will be 12702. And you can see here 2 decimal position, here 1 decimal position, already solved together 3 decimal position. So 1, 2, 3. So here will be the point. Okay, divide by 3. Okay. And so answer will be 12.702 by 3. And can you simplify this? Yes, you can simplify. In 3 how many 3? 1. In 12 how many 3? 4. In 7 how many 3? 2 3s are 6, remainder is 1. So 10 in 10 how many 3 3s are 9, remainder is 1 2 4. So answer will be 4.234. That much meter is nothing but PQ. So what PQ represents? Length of the ladder. So you have to conclude in this way. So length of ladder is equal to what? 4.234 meter. Okay. So in the textbook, the length of the ladder is, they found it as 4.28, and in the bracket they given us approximately, but we got 4.234. What is the difference like this? Because they maintained root 3 in the left denominator only, and they didn't rationalize it. Okay, that's why in the bracket they written approximately, because this answer is not sharp, because they need to rationalize it. So they need to rationalize the denominator first, but they didn't do that. They simply substitute the values. There is no wrong in that, but still in the bracket they given us approximately, but we got a sharp result, because we reached in a correct and exact. We did in a exact method. So a slight deviation should be there, because when you divide with a decimal number, when you multiply with the decimal number, slight difference should be there. Let it be, no problem. And this is your sharp result. Okay. So we got the length of the ladder. Now it is the time to calculate the distance between the foot of the tower and the ladder. Distance between the foot of the tower and ladder. How we can calculate the distance between the foot of the tower and ladder? That means we need to calculate AQ. So according to 60 degree, opposite side is there. AQ we have to calculate. According to 60 degree, that is adjacent. So which is the ratio connecting between opposite and adjacent? Opposite and adjacent, tan. So what we can do now? Tan 60 is nothing but opposite by adjacent. That means 3.7 by AQ. 3.7 by AQ. So what is the value of tan 60? Of course that is root 3. So root 3 is nothing but 3.7 by AQ. Then what is AQ here? What is AQ? Just take this AQ to the left side. So AQ and 3.7 by, take this root 3 to right side, root 3. Okay, otherwise you can cross multiply. Cross multiply in the sense, see, take this AQ to left side. In the one more method is that take this AQ to left side, so it become root 3 into AQ is equal to 3.7, no? Because it is in the division part. When you take the left side, it become root 3 into AQ is equal to 3.7. Now what is AQ? 3.7 by root 3. See, 3.7 by root 3. You may understand. Okay, then AQ is equal to 3.7 by root 3. So since again a irrational came in the denominator, make it as rational number. How? 3.7 by root 3. Just multiply numerator and denominator with root 3. So now just see, when you multiply numerator with root 3, it becomes 3.7 root 3, and root 3 into root 3 is nothing but 3. See, and still in the last question we are supposed to calculate 1.73 here, isn't it? Because we are supposed to calculate 1.73 because it is given in the question. If it is not given in the question, no need to substitute. So it becomes 3.7 into 1.73 divided by 3. And you know one thing, 3.7 into 1.73 we already calculated. What was that? See, let it be, we can again calculate that value. The 1.73 into 3.7 multiply, and you know how to multiply, divide by 3. Just write that much only. And otherwise, if you are not getting time in exam, you can stop here. If you are not getting time in board exam, you can stop here. Otherwise, just write this much and stop. And after if you get time, you can write the answer. Okay, because multiplication it will take time. Otherwise you have to multiply very fast, 1.73 into 3.7, 1.73 into 3.7. how we can multiply 173 into 37? So answer is 6401. So when you give decimal point, it becomes 6.401 divided by 3. It will give you the answer 6.401 divided by 3. That much meter. You can stop here. No need to divide these two number. You can stop here. Okay. So that will be AQ. That means the distance between the foot of the post and the ladder will be 6.401 divided by 3 meter. Now it is a time to explain very next example, example 3. See, just read the example well and try to draw a figure. An observer 1.5 meter tall is 28.5 meter away from a chimney. Okay, once again, an observer, his height is given in this question. I told you, no, because that person is comparing with the chimney, and chimney is not like a tower. We can compare that person and chimney's height, because comparatively when you compare the height of chimney, we cannot neglect the height of the observer, because that chimney will not have much height, just like electric tower or phone tower. So that's why they included the height of the observer, because we cannot neglect that. Okay, so an observer 1.5 meter tall is 28.5 meter away from a chimney. So let me draw a chimney. It represents chimney. So let AB represents chimney, and we have to draw a man such that man is standing, that observer is standing how much away? 28.5 meter away from a chimney, and this is your chimney, and that man is standing somewhere here such that point is 28.5 meter away from the chimney. That means let A be the foot of the chimney. Let A be the foot of the chimney, and that observer is standing in such a way that he is standing at a point that is 28.5 meter away from the chimney. So this is the way to draw, no? Okay, and let it be some P here, and now P is the point where the observer is standing, and now the point P is 28.5 meter away from the chimney. This is chimney, no? Okay, now height of the observer is given. So can you mention that observer as simple just a point? No, we have to mention the height of the observer. See, it represents that observer. That observer's height is given as what? 1.5 meter. Okay. And what then next? Read the next line. The angle of elevation of the top of the chimney from her eyes is 45 degree. Again, it is not he, it is she. Okay. So she wants to see where the angle of elevation of the top of the chimney. That means she wants to see the top of the chimney. So when she see the top of the chimney, you are supposed to draw the line of sight of that. See, this is going to be the line of sight when she saw the top of the chimney. This is going to be her line of sight. And there is mention about angle of elevation. How we can draw angle of elevation? In order to draw angle of elevation, we need line of sight that I drawn, and we need horizontal level also. And this is here what? Horizontal level of sight. And angle between line of sight and horizontal level is going to be that angle of elevation, and that is nothing but 45 degree. And you may understood right now. I'm not going to explain it again because we already explained it well in the last video. Okay. And what is the height of the chimney? We have to calculate the total height of the chimney. That means from A to B is the height of chimney. That means we need AB. Are you following me? Yes, of course. Okay. Let it be some L here. L. First of all, you are supposed to, in order to solve this question, before that you have to write all the things. So what we can write here, AB represents height of the chimney, P, let it be some S, PS represents the height of the observer, enough. And angle, if you want, you can write angle BSL represents angle of elevation, that is 40 degree. You have to write at least 2 or 3 sentences advance. Okay. And now in order to solve this question, we have to create the presence. No, we are not supposed to create. We have to identify the presence of a right triangle here. Can you see a right triangle? Only one right triangle I can see here. Which is that? Yes, SLB. Can you say that PAB is a right triangle? See, PAB a right triangle. Because PB we join the line undo. എവിടെ വരച്ചു കഴിയുമ്പോൾ അവിടെ ഒരു റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിൾ പ്രസൻസേ ഉള്ളൂ ഇപ്പം നിലവിൽ. ഏതാണത്? ദാറ്റ് റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിൾ ഈസ് SLB. ക്യാൻ യു കൺസിഡർ PAB ആസ് എ റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിൾ? PAB ഈസ് എൻ ആംഗിൾ ബിക്കോസ് ദർ ഈസ് നോ ജോയിനിങ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ P and B. So how we can consider it is a triangle. Okay, in order to consider as a triangle, there should be 3 sides. That 3 sides should be closed, and there is only presence of one right triangle, that is SLB. So consider that. So what do you have to write? Consider right triangle SLB. In that we can apply some ratio. Okay, let's listen. So consider right triangle SLB. You may understood that what is the reason for considering that right triangle, because in order to solve we need a right triangle, and then there is only one presence of one right triangle, that is SLB. Okay, because there is, see, now is there any confusion? No, because only there is one right triangle, no confusion. But in order to use some ratio, we need at least one side. You know what is BL? No. You know what is BS? No. You know what is SL? No. But yes, we know SL. You know, SL will be nothing but same as P. You know, from the figure it is very clear that PA is equal to SL, or length of SL should be same as that of length of PA. Okay, so SL will be what? Same as PA, that is nothing but 28.5. So SL is nothing but 28.5. From the figure it is very clear, no? Okay. Now we just see, focus about the given angle. This is the only given angle, 45 degree. According to 45 degree, what we have to calculate? Anyway, we have to calculate BA, but using this right triangle, can you identify what is BA? No, you can identify what is BL. Because BL is the only one part of this right triangle, we cannot identify BA, but let me calculate BL. Anyway, BL ചിമ്മിനിൻ്റെ പോർഷൻ തന്നെയാണല്ലോ, അപ്പോൾ BL കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ നമുക്ക് ആദ്യം. ഓക്കെ, സോ എനിവേ I can calculate BL. Okay, so according to this 45 degree, we need to calculate BL. So according to 45 degree, that BL is nothing but opposite side. And according to 45 degree, which is given, adjacent side is given. So which is the ratio connecting between opposite and adjacent? Tan. Okay, once again I am repeating. Once again, I told you in the most of the problem the ratio will be tan, but sometime it will be sine. So we have to check which ratio we have to use. So once again repeating. What is the reason for I am using tan? Because tan is the ratio relating between opposite side and adjacent side. You have to think about the angle given. According to that angle, when you use tan, that will connect between opposite and adjacent. According to that angle, adjacent is already given, and opposite anyway we have to calculate, because we have to calculate the length of the chimney, and BL is a part of the chimney, so we need anyway BL. Okay, suppose so the ratio should be tan. So let use tan here, tan 45. Okay, what is tan 45? Tan of an angle is nothing but opposite side by adjacent side, no? So according to 45 degree, opposite is BL and adjacent is SL. So BL by SL. And what is tan 45? 1. What is BL? We don't know. What is SL? 28.5. Okay, let it be there. How many unknowns are there? Only one unknown, BL. So we can easily solve it out. Suppose for your clarity, maybe some students will get bored, but still I will explain. If you use, instead of tan, if you use sine, so I am going to use sine 45 at first. Can you use sine 45? Just try to use sine 45. Sine 45 is nothing but opposite by hypotenuse. That means BL by SB. BL by SB. BL is not given, SB is not given. Both are not given now. So no idea about BL, no idea about SB. So two unknowns came. Can you solve it out? No. That's why I'm not using sine. I used what? Tan. Okay. And cos also can be applied. But how can we apply cos? When you apply cos 45 is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent is given, but at that time we can calculate hypotenuse. But hypotenuse നമുക്ക് വേണോ? നമുക്ക് chimney height വരെ. അപ്പോൾ ഏറ്റവും best ratio that tan. You may understood. I'm not going to waste time by explaining the same thing. If you feel doubt, you can call me. It is very clear that we have to use tan, because sine is not applicable, because two unknowns will come, and when you use cos we will get hypotenuse. We need actually length of the chimney. What is the need of calculating the hypotenuse and all? So let it be there. So let us use tan. So we have reached here, and now you can take this 28.5 to left side, so it become 1 into 28.5 is nothing but BL. So in short, we got the value of BL as 1 into 28.5. What is that? 28.5 meter. So we got BL, but what we need length of the chimney AB. So let us calculate AB now. What is AB? From the figure it is very clear that AB is nothing but AB is the sum of BL and LA, isn't it? So BL plus LA. And what is BL? BL we already got. What is that? BL we already got. What is that? 28.5. 28.5. What is LA? Is there any idea about LA? See, LA will be same as that of SP. From the figure it is very clear that SP is nothing but LA, and SP is nothing but that height of the observer, that is 1.5. So LA also should be the height of the same height, 1.5. So it will be just like that, just like the height of the observer, that is 1.5. So what we can calculate, what we can substitute LA as, we can substitute this as 1.5, and 28.5 plus 1.5 will give you the total height of the chimney. What is 28.5 plus 1.5? Add this. 30 meter is the height of the chimney. If you want, you can check the textbook answer. See, textbook answer also should be what? 30 meter. See, sharp result we got. So it is getting dark. Okay, and shall I wind up this session? Okay, I'm going to wind up this session. So this amount of seriousness you have to apply in this kind of solution, and you may understanding that for this kind of problem we need little bit more energy than introduction to trigonometry, isn't it? And you know how introduction to trigonometry, the problem of introduction of trigonometry is how serious problems are there, but still we have to give more seriousness to this kind of solution. And are you feeling interest towards this kind of solution? I am feeling that, because I do love maths, but I don't know about you. You have to maintain the same amount of interest in this kind of question. Why? Because if you are not giving interest means നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ പ്രോബ്ലം സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഒരു താല്പര്യമാണ്. ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അതിനെ ഫിഗർ വരയ്ക്കുക, അത് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാനൊക്കെ ഒരു ഉത്സാഹം, നമുക്കൊരു ഇഷ്ടം തോന്നണം ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനോട്. ഞാനിപ്പം ഇതിന് ആൻസർ ഈ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം ഒരു വീഡിയോ നിങ്ങളുടെ ചാനലിൽ ആൻസൻ്റെ ചാനലിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള അഡ്വർടൈസ്മെൻ്റ് ആണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കരുത്. ലിനുവിൻ്റെ ചാനലും ആൻസൻ്റെ ചാനലൊക്കെ ഞാൻ വളരെ ആസ്വദിക്കുന്ന ഒരാളാണ്. ആൻസൺ ഈ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം ലിനു ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ. ഇപ്പോൾ ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് ലിനു ചെയ്തത് വെച്ചിട്ട് ഞാൻ മറ്റേ ഫാഷൻ ഫ്രൂട്ടിൻ്റെ സ്ക്വാഷ് വരെ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയ ആളാണ്. പിന്നെ ആൻസൻ്റെ കാര്യം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം അവൻ വീഡിയോ ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ അവൻ അതിൽ സ്പെസിഫൈ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായി നമ്മൾ പഠിക്കാൻ മാർക്ക് കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടി പഠിക്കരുത്. ഇറ്റ്സ് റൈറ്റ്, മാർക്ക് കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടി പഠിക്കരുത്. മാർക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന ഇപ്പം ആൻസർ വേറെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞു, മാർക്ക് മേടിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഡ്രീം അറ്റൈൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ എന്തിന് മാർക്ക് മേടിക്കണം? അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് നാളെ നിങ്ങൾ പഠിക്കേണ്ടതല്ല. ഒരു സബ്ജക്റ്റിനോടൊരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ആണ് വേണ്ടത്. അത് മാർക്കിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് മാത്രമല്ല, ഒരു മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സിൻ്റെ പ്രോബ്ലം സോൾവ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യാനുള്ളൊരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ്. അങ്ങനെ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് കാണിക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി എന്ത് വരും? മാർക്ക് വരും. അങ്ങനെയാണ് മാർക്ക് വരുന്നത്. അല്ലാണ്ട് മാർക്കിന് വേണ്ടി മാർക്ക് മേടിക്കരുത്. സബ്ജക്റ്റിന് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ്, പ്രോബ്ലത്തിനോട് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് കാണിച്ച് മാർക്ക് നമുക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരിക. മാർക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു എക്സ്ട്രാ ആഡഡ് തിങ് ആണ്, മാത്രമാണ്. സോ സബ്ജക്റ്റിനോടും പ്രോബ്ലത്തിനോടൊരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് വേണം. അത് നിങ്ങൾ മെയിൻറ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്യുമെങ്കിൽ മാത്രമേ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് application of trigonometry നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ശോഭിക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. I promise that just try to show an amount of interest to this kind of solution, then only you can score marks. Okay, and thank you.